Yo, yo.
Yep.
Yo, man, they got me feeling like a superstar here. Yo, check it out. What? I'm like a baked potato with a foil over here, bro. That's hilarious, man. How about right now? No, when I told you, I'll be mindful and I'll have my head up. That's what she said. He be lying. He be saying he gonna do that. He don't be doing that. Don't let that dude lie to you. Chip Douglas. He,
Why you lying? Phone vibrate. That's all I think of. Why you lying? Why you lying? I need that. I need like a stupid video, like how people just hire me. Like travel the country. Which is right up in there. I guess just going around the country, like doing songs and things. Ready, Chip?
you ready? All right, bro. All right, yep. So this is gonna be just to my phone. It's not gonna be posting here. I just need No, I'm saying, but because this side video, I just want like 20 seconds of the interview, and that'll be the teaser. Cause you know that's like kind of like that 10-hour gives you like a 4K quality. But like if you could do it like from behind him, like kind of get just pan around, kind of like what I did with Ray. I know you know, bro. Exactly. I'm good.
Yep. All right. For those who don't know you yet, please introduce yourself.
My name is Chip Mother Douglas.
All right. Now tell us the history behind the face on the shirt.
So it all started when my mom met my dad, right? And now, so pretty much, I would say, like back in 2003, yes, that 2003, I started directing and producing fashion shows. And speed up to 2006, I actually asked my son's mother if I could use a picture that she drew of me as the logo. Because if you're trying to brand yourself, you need a logo. And I used that first logo, and then the city got kind of accustomed to seeing that logo on a t-shirt. At the end of every fashion show, I had all the models come out and like just pose. I always like that collective take a bow at the end of shows. And then I met a young man by the name of Deontay Noble, shout out to Crack Artist. He is a graphic designer, and he had did his own kind of caricature of himself on Facebook. And when he did that little drawing of himself, that cartoon version, I would just like, yo, I want one. Can you do it for me? He created it. I put it as my profile pic on Facebook. And then once the DM started happening, like, yo, if you put that on a shirt, I'll buy it. Bong.
Man, that's dope.
Organic, bro.
That's dope. For real. I don't think anybody knows that history.
Yeah.
All right.
It's Cliff Notes version. Quick, fast.
2003. I didn't mean that up.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I can't wait to interview you.
So what you feel sets your brand apart?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting question because I kind of never do the comparison thing. I'm always trying to like get myself better.
All right, let's do it like this then.
But I can answer it.
We have a longevity. Okay, we can do that.
I feel because at least within the city, I'm real to a large portion of the city. And because it's kind of cartoon version of me, it resonates with the city. Also, when I first started the brand, and with the shirts, even to this day, with no website for you to get a shirt, you kind of have to know me. And I think that connection allowed me to meet with people who actually want to support it and actually have real conversations. And through those conversations, I'm able to even know what my city needs. So then fast forward, if someone buys a shirt, then we start talking about maybe they want their kids to go to college. I have resources I could link them to answers. And I just think that connectivity to it being me, I am a real person, and that it organically grew and found me, not saying I set out to find it. I believe that's kind of like just that energy and that genuineness kind of sets it apart. It wasn't a capitalist, innovative move. It just kind of happened and I knew what to do with it.
Now, your brand has a certain catchy phrase on them that you started a while back. What gave you the idea in doing that, and how has the public reacted to that?
And we're talking about It Ain't Over?
And over local hero.
Oh, the local hero. All right.
Iron Providence.
Dope.
Those kind of phrases. Yeah.
So, tell you the truth, I gotta shout out my father. If you know my father, he has all these ideas, and I think he actually did the first selfie because every time he would do a video recorder at the family picnic, he would always turn the camera on himself. And we'd be like, yo, Dad, stop it, yo, you know what I mean? And now that's what everyone does. But my father was just giving me advice. He was like, you should do this, you should do sayings, and you should do something like do more. And then him saying that, I kind of was like, yo, that'd be dope to kind of replace the O with the logo. A lot of people have already kind of been familiar with just the face itself. And so just doing that, the do more shirt, I believe was the first. And then it just kind of took from there, like legit, I'll be walking around the house and just saying like, how about this? It's just like ideas just pop in my head. And then with the Providence thing, it's also kind of remixing that symbol, the eye of God, and what people associate it with and what it really is. It just means channeling your creativity and kind of doing what you were created to do. And so just having that conversation with people like, oh my God, that's the eye of God, that's the devil. No, it's actually opposite. It's actually means this and that, and letting people know that you interpret art according to your belief system and according to the knowledge that you choose to receive. So it's not as complex as it looks, bro. Ideas pop in my head, I get inspired, and it just kind of keep it moving, bro.
Now, I see everyone wearing your clothing and making sure to post them.
Dope, I don't. That's dope.
All right. Now, how does that make you feel? Because they definitely like to show the support every time they have it on.
I'll tell you right now, it's very humbling because I don't assume that anyone has to. You know, there's a little joke that kind of we created the first selfie because before that was a term, I remember a young lady by the name of Giselle Polanco. She took a picture of my shirt. It was like 2011, and she sent it to me. At that time, I had a girlfriend, and I was nervous. I'm like, do I post this? Is my girl gonna get mad? What do we do with this? And it was literally genuine support. So I sat on it for like 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But then when I put it on Facebook, everyone started doing it, and it was just like a wave, and I'm not, and it just happened before the selfie wave. It happened before the IG wave that everyone does now, which is dope too. But I think the proudest moment was cool where it was the first day of school in Providence, and my cousin Sean told me, yo, Chip, I just saw some little kids rocking your shirt on their first day of school. You know the first day of school, everyone wants to be fresh. That's when you have your outfit laid out, you got your sneakers, and just knowing that kids wanted to wear that shirt for their first interaction at school, it means the world, and I'll forever be humble. And the fact that I never see it on people outside of those pictures, it always makes me feel like I got more work to do. So I never see it, but for those who do, I appreciate you, and it's very humbling, man, and I never take any of the support for granted. It keeps me motivated.
All right. Now, there's something else you do around town. Let's talk about your shows. You do several shows, often imitated, never really could be duplicated.
I appreciate that.
Now, why is that? And can you name your shows, actually?
So semi-annually, I do Leaders of the New School, I do Astro, and I do When Stars Align. So I do both those shows twice a year on the year. And then between the time when it's like kind of like a flash in the pan show, or if I get inspired through a conversation with people, I will do something called Momentum, and it's kind of like your mixtape, something in between, keep the momentum going. And so I think that's just, I've been blessed by the universe, by a creator, to always come across artists and collectors of artists, whether it be music, whether it be art, and from my brotherhood, sisterhood, humanhood. We just have these conversations, and I feel like through my grind, I've built social capital to where I am afforded certain liberties, certain venues, certain opportunities. And so at my age, since I've done a lot when I was younger, I feel like it's my duty to create the stage. A lot of artists want to be artists, and they want to show the world, but they might not have the financial backing. They might not have, the nerves to try. They might not have the information to do it. So I just create a world where I'll get everything together. All you need to do is show up and just be you. Plug to another shirt. And just kind of being inspired by what I've seen in other states, I think. And I never think duplicated. I feel like if someone's inspired to do something similar and they could create the window of opportunity for someone else, then so be it. I have to compete against myself to be better than the next time, and that's pretty much the pocket I sit in, It is human to react like, but then you gotta check yourself and say, if I am really about creating this industry, creating opportunity, and creating art, then no tinge of jealousy could even exist within my body.
Awesome. Let's break down your shows real quick. Let's
Word.
start with the Leaders of the New School.
Leaders of the New School.
Yeah, tell me let's actually tell the audience what's the basis around that and how it got started and why is it moving right now?
Leaders of the New School, kind of separate from the hip hop group. Shout out to the legends. I just found myself around a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of dope people, and I feel like I have a high quality air as far as when it comes to musicality. No one will ever be on my stage just because they're related to me. You have to have something about you. You got to believe in yourself. Got to have a job. Got to hustle. My cousin Junebug ain't gonna get on just because he's my cousin Junebug and them. You know what I mean? So Leaders of the New School, I had the opportunity to be part of PBD Fest one year, and we put up a lineup together, and it was Flawless, Trav Black, Chev, and J. Lou, and I believe in if I'm missing somebody, it will hit. Oh yeah, and then Jay Abreu was drumming, and my boy Reg was on the DJ at the time, and it kind of took off there. It was just I got a stage. I had met with Flawless at the time. He was trying to start a little campaign to get reconnected to his city, and it took off, and people loved it, and so I just felt the need to keep going with that imprint, and that's just a collective of hip hop MCs that just spit hot fire, dialing, and and it's evolved to the point where the last one was so dope. We had an organic cipher, and I started rapping. That was amazing.
That was dope. Now let's go to the ultimate date show that you have.
The ultimate date show. Estro.
Beautiful females, young independent artists.
Definitely.
Expand on the birth of that and where it comes to right now.
So Estro, I was at work, and one of my coworkers named Nikova. We were working one day, and just like a lot of these organic conversations, we're just in our regular life, and we was talking. She was like, "Oh, I sing." I was like, "You do what?" She was like, "Yeah, I sing." And so then she played her music, and I'm like, "You want to do a show?" It's like literally like that. Anyone that knows me, like Stan, you know, that's me. Like I'm just always looking for that next moment to create. And so she was just like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Yeah, for real. I got fat. I could do this. We could do this." And it was kind of happening fast. And she was like, "Oh my God, for real?" And so when we were talking, she said, "I know a lot of dope women." And then it was just like, I was like, you know what? Let's do a show. And I was like featuring artists who happen to be women. I didn't want it to be like we needed a whole subset, like a lesser than show. I wanted a show that just focused on the power of estrogen, get it? And that birthed Estro. And shout out to A Boogie, SDL Designs. He helped me create the vision as far as with the fly and everything. And so once again, this is an imprint where legit the talent is so amazing. It's really a vibe, yo. And you get goosebumps, and every woman who performs is just bearing their soul to you. And it's magical. And I've been fortunate that it's gotten better every time. And the next one will be August, September. And there are plans to take it out of state this summer, so stay tuned.
So, now let's talk about your mega show.
Yo, man, you got me sounding good, man. This guy, who is? I like. How much we pay this guy, huh?
When Stars Align has exploded to something else, the art, the music, the fashion, everything is all in this one show, and everybody comes out for it. Can you explain on that, even from the inception to right now? Because it's becoming, people are actually waiting every year for this show right now.
That's
so
pretty
let me
dope.
know about it.
So the first one, Stars Align, happened in 2012. It was more music and maybe like my brand and Jubei Clothing and La Soda Renaissance by Eric Andrade. And it was cool. Not too many people showed up, but it birthed something. It was kind of like a variety show. And then it kind of evolved to the point where I found myself around all these artists. And based on my hustle, a lot of top-notch artists even were like, I don't do much shows, but I'll rock with you. So that validation kind of made me go, we're onto something. And so simply, who doesn't love art? Art show. There's a lot of artists in Rhode Island, they don't have an outlet. So I was just like, once again, anything I do is kind of like the sums make the whole part. The parts are as valuable as the sums. So I just started asking the artists like, yo, you want to be part of this art show? And I'm thinking like, yo, music, fashion, dance, like who doesn't love that? And I know top-notch quality. Like, shout out to all the people, Inano, shout out to Chachi, shout out to Trap Black, shout out to Art by Ariel, shout out to Soraya, shout out to Alex. Man, I got about 60 names I can name right now. But I always focus on quality, and I know that the music was gonna be dope. I know the art was gonna be top-notch, and it was just like getting Providence in. But having the individuals that part of it, just kind of appealing to their friends and family to come, we just kind of had like a homogeneous mixture of just art lovers. And then also too, as you know, this is just facts, bro. A lot of times local shows don't tend to attract, like local music shows don't tend to attract big numbers as far as audience wise. And then you got this thing where after someone performs, their whole crew leaves. So I'm like, how can I kind of just have a nucleus audience and just have all of these artists merge and just collide into each other? And when Stars Align was a perfect opportunity. Art show, straight into the concert. If someone starts walking out the door, I got the mic, I'll ask you to stay. But I think the connectivity of it is just me keeping everybody entertained, hosting it so that it doesn't get dead time. Anytime I do a show, I do it from the audience's perspective. You don't want someone to come at 8 to 10 for an art show and then give them a 3-hour concert. It got to hit quick. You got to have them, you got to keep them engaged and respect their time. So I think by staying to that formula, it's worked. And FET's a beautiful venue. You got the arcade. You never really have to do decorations in there. It's big, and it's been a blessing through all my partnerships. Then I got Hotinri, who with the camera work and the angle and just the love put into the images, and also just in case. And shout out to everyone that helps bring those images, because I never have time to do anything. It's a blur every time I do it, but we've been able to create something that is dope, and it's not like one of those dope for Providence. It's just dope as fuck. You could edit that later, yo. And I feel like we deserve it as a city. As an artist, you always remember your first show. Last show, DJ Els hit me up 3 days before. Yo, my cousin's an artist, can she be in it? Of course, for real. It's like, why not? Like, there's not really, you just have to be genuine. And at this point, what I'm saying is, you've had to at least have the support division before. 2019 moving forward, I've given you so much of myself. If you haven't pulled up for $5 in Astro to Leaders of the New School, to When Stars Align, if you haven't pressed the like button, if you haven't even just said high five, Chip, how your kids are doing, it is what it is, you know? Yeah, so that's how When Stars Align started, just once again, organically being around so much talent, knowing that I'm in a fine position to give them a platform. And that it's never about me, it's about us, you know?
Now, let's get into the new branches of your show, because you just be expanding with your shows. Now you're doing shows that's catering just to the artists, the painting artists.
Dope.
That's something new. Can you explain on that?
So you have When Stars Align. A lot of time, it's a lot of artists' first show. A lot of people walk away with it with more money in their pocket. I won't break down my business formula because you got to be part of it to see that. And then that just bursts that organic, natural relationship. Many of the people I work with honestly used to be my students when I was a high school advisor at the College Crusade. A lot of people remember when I was doing my fashion shows in 06. I started strictly as a producer of fashion shows with a little bit of music. So in 06, 08, I had a fashion show featuring Chachi. You get what I'm saying? So now it's like the same formula, it just has evolved. So artists reach out to me and they ask, you know, can you help me with X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, word, call a venue, can we do it? We figure out the business aspect and we just do it. Like, why wouldn't I help somebody, man? It's my duty as an older person in the community, as someone who has seen a lot, to make the path for those behind me smoother. Like, if you're not doing that, all the people my age that are blaming the music, blaming the kids, like, we raised these kids, man. They watched us while they were growing up. So how dare we blame them and try to cut off their activity and act like just because it's not my cup of tea, I can't support their art. So I'm a genuine supporter. So artists are coming to me and asking for help, bro, and my answer is word. And the dope thing about it too is that they understand kind of what's happening. And it's even like, yo, Chip, I got this idea. You could even put your name on it, and it's like, word. It's a win-win. in this social media flat surface world, an ad can gain 10 more supporters and lead to another business venue. And that's pretty much what's happening, bro, and that's what's gonna keep happening.
All right, now, words on the street, which is being reported to me that your shows will be crossing state lines.
Stay tuned.
So how's that looking, and have you been in touch with like different cities and states already, or have they reached out to you, or is it still in the works?
It's funny, that's a perfect segue. So as people are adding me and we're adding each other, I'm getting different eyes outside of Rhode Island. And yes, I am in conversations with other artists. Because what you do as a hometown is sometimes you give out-of-state artists more credit. Well, look at them. And then that out-of-state artist is kind of looking at us like we look at them. You get me? Yep. So they're looking at Providence like, whoa, that was dope. And we're looking like, you're dope just because you're not from Providence. What is that? So you get me? So I know that Providence is dope. I know we got something special. I know we don't have an industry. I'm dedicated to creating the industry. And while doing that, I am now reaching out outside of Rhode Island, and we are going to literally just travel and spread the gospel of dopeness, of music, of art, of fashion, of dance, while I still do my semi-annual events. Because at this point, it's not too hard for me to do what I've been doing.
Now, people would like to get your wear, your brand, your clothing line. How can you get it?
Right now, you just have to hit me up. I am relaunching my older shirts, the last shirts with the sayings on them, but I am planning to relaunch a full comprehensive website. My problem has been, as a creative, I know what I want it to look like at the end, but now I'm kind of understanding that you kind of just got to build it and then evolve it. So I will be releasing a website, but I think that one of my struggles or conflicts is that I know my purpose, honestly, bro, and what I will be saying is I will travel the country, the world, talking to kids about finding the artists in them and discovering their why. And so that's why it's been hard for me to launch the website, because right now it will just function as merchandise. Like, I don't feel like I have a clothing line, it's more merchandise. So I'm creating the bigger picture, and yes, so just get ready. It's gonna happen. Right now, just hit me up. We're real. Instagram, Chip_Doug, DOUG. But just know that that leveling up is right around the corner, and pretty soon you're gonna be driving down Broad Street looking at billboards with the logo, and it's gonna tell you exactly where to go, bro.
All right. One more question. It's the hardest question of the night. Give me shout outs.
Shout outs?
Yeah.
Shout outs to Hotinri. Only because, for real, this is real, man. This is my brother for over 20 years. Like, we legit freshman year, we're in theater class. And in one skit, he was smoking. I was Ice Cube on Friday when we auditioned for a play called Cinderella Wore Combat Boots. And then for my rehearsal, I was Tupac and he was Q from Juice. And yeah, and then in the play, I was Prince Charming and he was the fairy godbrother. So shout out to you, bro, honestly, because I appreciate what you're doing. I see your evolution, and you already been through you've been through enough to stop. You've been through enough to not keep evolving, and you have unapologetically been you, and you've always been about us. And a lot of times people don't put you at the forefront or lift you up like you need to be, and I just appreciate you, man. I'll shout out Providence as a whole in general, but shout out to all my brotherhood from Leaders of New School, Tribe Black, Up Now. Shout out to anyone who's giving me energy, Estro or the women of Estro, just anyone who's contributed, because there's too many names. I will start doing little YouTube videos highlighting these people, so stay tuned. But I do want to say thank you, Stan, aka Mr. Hotinri, bro, for not stopping, believing in yourself, and making sure that you keep redefining your purpose and letting us know why you're here, brother.